Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Clouds. I'm, as always, joined by my co-host, Declan. Today we are joined by our very special guest, Austin Hopper.
Hey there, guys.
Honestly, Austin, I usually when we have people on here, I can say, when we had Chewy on here, it's like, this is Chewy from Chewy's Juice, but you're from, everything. So let me see if I can, at least get part of it down. So I know that you're a brand ambassador for Safada.
That's true.
We love you for that. Thank you. I can see by your shirt, you are currently working for Kidney Puncher.
Consulting with
Kidney Puncher, sorry. In the past, you've worked with Space Jam, Cutwood. Who else?
Hold Fast, Cosmic Fog, Coil Glaze, Gilla. I own the Vaping Advocate magazine as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I do a bunch of stuff, and I just think the vape industry is an amazing group of people. It's an amazing community, and I think, unfortunately, in advocacy, we're underserved. So if you're not a part, you need to be a part. And we'll just kind of leave it at there.
Oh, I love you, man. No, that's totally true. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that during our advocacy segment today. But yeah, if you're not involved, even if you're just a consumer, CASA is a thing. Yeah. And there's the other very easy thing that consumers can do, which is, ask the stores that they're giving money to what they're doing. I can say for sure, since I do a lot of recruiting for ASFA and for Safada, that we get people contacting us all the time that are just our customers are harassing us. What do I have to do to make them stop, basically?
Well, it's amazing to me the number of questions that come out. And I saw Fig's post this morning, ranting, and I love you, Fig. And what I will tell you is, I talked to Dimitri the other day, and one of the crazy things that I see is everybody wants to call and ask people questions, and a majority of those people are not a member of an advocacy group, where they could get the same information that they're asking for, and it could be readily available. Like members of the VTA, they put out all the state regulations. So there's so many things that people could get, but unfortunately, they want to call and get that information, but they don't want to be a part of and to support those people that are making that information available, who are talking to all the leaders and going and meeting with the FDA. Shell Hamill, right? She does such an amazing job.
Shell is one of my favorite people.
She's my favorite person in the world.
Yeah, she's great.
And, the biggest thing is that, I can call and I can reach out and I can get all this information, but I'm a member of organizations also, right? So it makes it easier. And, doing my part. And I certainly am no Demetrius Agrafidiotis, and I'm no Shell Hamill by any stretch of the imagination. And, but I'm still a part. If they need something, they know all they need to do is call me. Yeah. I think that's what's important.
Definitely. Well, your contributions have certainly not gone without notice. So thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right. So today for our product review,
dun, dun, dun.
We're going to bring back the winner of, what was it? A couple weeks ago now?
Yeah.
The last time we did some salt devices, the winner there, the Breeze 2, and we're putting it up against the new Nautilus AIO. Now, when Declan first showed me these, when they first landed just a couple days ago or whatever, I thought it was a cool idea because, the Nautilus was the first tank back in the day that I was like, okay, this is actually satisfying.
Right.
It wasn't like one of the CE2s or anything like that where it's this will do, but I still kind of want a cigarette, just not bad enough to actually get one. The Nautilus was the first thing I tried that I was like, okay, this is legit. So the fact that they took, all that technology, put it in a small device, let's see how it goes, I guess. So, the gloves are off. And we loaded them up with the same juice this time, just so we get an even comparison.
So they almost look like twins.
Yeah, they do. They do. This one looks kind of like just based on appearance, I would say I like the Nautilus AIO better.
Oh, I do too.
And I know it's a tacky little thing, but this little gold trim here, I love it. I don't know why, but it's great. There you go.
Shout out to John and the White King over at Hexo.
Nice.
Craving Vapor. Love your products. Always have.
Those are solid. So, okay, I'll let you go first if you want.
Okay. So this is our new one?
Yeah, that's the new one.
New and improved.
New and improved, yeah. Now those still use the same the BBC coils, right?
Yep. It can take the 0.7, the 1.6, or the 1.8.
Okay.
I believe that's all the ones that they have for the Nautilus.
What juice do we have in it?
It's red by Sonoran Salt.
Okay, so that's really good. Big shout out to the flavor, so that's good. And nice airflow, nice piece. I like that the button is right there and easy for a guy like me.
Mm-hmm.
I get better flavor out of this one.
You know, honestly, I would agree. So me and Declan have both toyed around with both of these before. I agree. I still think the Breeze 2 has a little bit better flavor.
Better flavor. It basically feels the same. I think that one has a much more aesthetic look.
Yeah.
But I think the flavor for me is just better out of that. And I don't know, maybe it's because of the airflow coming out of the side here of the tank. But I still think the Breeze 2 is the way to go.
Yeah. You know, what do you
That's
think?
me.
I mean, either way, like the Nautilus is my all-time favorite, and I know like before that device came out, you and I were toying around with billet boxes for the longest time, putting the Nautilus coils in them. Like that was our favorite, but it was just a little bit too much. Like I just got too much nicotine with the power or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do love that it is adjustable airflow on this one still, just through that little ring on the bottom, so you can still adjust it to your liking. And I do like they did add the little grips, but I agree. Like this one does have a little bit more flavor, a little bit more power behind it, a little bit more oomph. So I would say Breeze 2.
You know, honestly, I'm gonna say the same thing. I'm still holding the Breeze 2 as king, but I will say this is by far my favorite device that uses the BBC coil.
Yeah, I love the BBC
and
coil.
I love that they keep bringing the BBC coils back because it's a good coil.
It's a staple.
You know,
honestly,
it's good. I also like, you mentioned this before we started filming, but the little nubs on the buttons here to release it.
Right, and it classes the design up a little bit too.
Yeah.
In the look of it.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're going for aesthetic stuff, right here, if really what you care about is just like flavor and production and stuff like that, the Breeze 2 has successfully defended its belt.
Right.
So we're going to talk more about advocacy after this. And we're back. As usual, I'm just going to say I love that commercial that we just saw, even though I have no idea what it is yet. We figured that out last.
It looked fantastic.
Yeah, it was great.
great.
It was great.
Thanks for the support.
Yeah. Make sure to buy as much as you can from whatever company you just saw a commercial for, because I assume they're great guys. I don't know, maybe. So either way, so we're going to do our advocacy segment now, and so Austin, you had said you wanted to talk about the Tobacco 21 issue going on in Arizona now.
Yeah, because my understanding was that Mesa said, okay, we think we're going to win, no big deal. And then Tucson's picking it up, Tempe's trying to pick it up. So what did we do right for Mesa that we need to do for Tempe and Tucson?
Well,
I think it's a big question.
So just speaking in general terms, and this isn't just about Mesa or Tempe or Tucson, and it's not even just about Tobacco 21, but one thing I love about doing advocacy in this industry is that there's no conning people or anything like that. It's not like we're the pro-cigarette people or something like that. Like all we have to do is tell people the truth. And it's easy to convince people that the truth is the truth because I can say, hey, here's this stack of science. Like, check this out. Like, everything I'm saying is legit. Like, we don't have to make stuff up to win this fight. We just have to educate people.
I agree.
Now they keep putting different kind of angles on it. Like the big thing has always been kind of like, the for the kids. We need to stop the kids from vaping by taking stuff away from adults, which doesn't really make sense to me. But
it doesn't to me either.
But I think that's the thing. Like, as soon as you say like something is for the kids, or like for different issues, people will say, oh, it's for the troops, and it's kind of the same thing. It's like you put your blinders on at that point. We love the kids, we love the troops. We're not doing anything that anybody even says might be against those things. But the problem is with this, like, these laws are not doing anything about kids. And because it's already illegal for kids to vape. It's already illegal to sell vapor products to kids. An 18 to 21-year-old is not a child, and so I promise I actually didn't set this up, but like the fact that I can be a 18, 19, and 20-year-old, which is the ages I was when I was in the military, I could go be in the military, but I can't buy vapor products. That just seems kind of ridiculous to me.
So it would seem to me that if you can vote, you can join the armed services, you can get married, you can buy a house, you can do anything else you want to do, but you can't buy a vapor product.
Yeah.
I understand that you can't buy alcohol. I get that. So, but if I can go in and purchase all these other things, then why am I limited from something that is proven to be at least 95% safer? And I'm not saying that if you're a non-smoker or a non-vapor that you should pick up vaping, right? Because you should never put anything in your lungs if you don't need to.
Yeah.
Right.
The air we breathe is bad enough from that big SUV.
Yeah.
So, the big thing is that, and I understand when you talk about how people want to deal with the kids and those kind of things. Where does parenting come in? Where does the kids that are charging $5 a puff in the school bathroom?
Yeah.
I was speaking to a gentleman who actually works for Juul the other day, and I said, let's kick those kids out of school for the rest of the year that are selling hits off the Juul. And he said, wow, that's harsh. I'm like, yeah, but boy, wouldn't it stop it?
Right.
Because then we wouldn't have those issues, right? Telling me that, high school kids are Juuling or whatever you want to call it, right? I enjoy the Juul myself, right? I have 2 of them. I have a case that charges it.
Nice.
Right? So I enjoy it because if I want to stealth vape
Right.
and do those kind of things, it allows me to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't be feeling like I'm a bad guy for owning it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? It's an amazing product. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. And because kids are buying cigarettes, vape products, who's selling it to them? That's the guy that they need to go after.
I have some theories if you'd like to hear them.
I would love to hear it.
I think that all these allegations against Juul for like marketing to kids, I think are nonsense.
It's absolute
Let me start with that.
nonsense.
Like I've seen Juul advertisements. They are far less kid friendly than a lot of other vape advertisements that I've seen. Like I've never seen a Juul cartoon or a Juul trademark infringement. Like I've never seen the Trix Rabbit on a Juul or anything like
Right.
that. So,
Good morning, Juul.
yeah, right.
But wait, we'll see you next. No, just kidding.
Yeah, right.
Just kidding.
But I think that the reason that a lot of kids are having more luck getting their hands on Juul products than things like this or things like this is because they're sold in convenience stores, and I think that employees at convenience stores are less passionate about keeping nicotine out of kids' hands than vapor store employees are.
I cannot disagree with that. And then I also think that when I was young, if I wanted something, I could convince somebody older to go buy
Yeah,
it.
sure.
Right.
And thank goodness for me, and not that it's played into my advantage as I got older, I've always looked old, right? I mean, I could buy alcohol when I was 17 years old, right? And so if people want it, they're going to get it, and I think that's where the parenting comes in, because I think that plays a huge role. Also, I understand the Juul is stealthy, right? Easy to hide, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that second one's probably not even going to pick up on the camera.
Right.
And so, the big thing is I understand that it's easier to hide from their parents and those kind of things. But if parents have a responsibility to go on and look and see what their kids are doing on Facebook and the internet and all of these things, this is no different. It's no different than alcohol. It's no different than tobacco. It's no different than making sure they're doing their homework.
Yeah.
Right? Parents play a role. And I'm not saying that single moms and those kind of things have all that time, or single dads for that matter, right? It's tough being a parent. There's no question about that. But they're still the parent.
Right.
And there's some responsibility needs to land there. The people that are selling products to people when they know. So if kids go in to buy cigarettes, right, and there's the older kid and 3 other kids, right? In California, you see the guy behind the counter saying no, right? And the big drawback is as a vape retailer, it's difficult because that's anywhere from 15 to 25% of that store's business is from people that are under 21, but not under 18.
Yeah,
Right.
18 to 21.
So that 18, 19, 20-year-old crowd is a huge chunk of money. And, store leases are costly, employees are costly, products are costly. So, there has to come a point in time when we have to realize that we've got to be able to do the right thing, and that's card when they come in.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
That we make sure that we're selling people who are trying to transition the right products. If you're trying to get off combustible tobacco, this is not the right product. It's not.
Yeah, you don't
Something like the Breeze 2 that
Yeah,
you
no, this-
have,
this
those
would be
type of
perfect.
things. Those are the type of products. You know, Dimitri and Phil are working on a tremendous amount of products with the Cool Fire 2 and the Zenith Tank that are a true mouth-to-lung vape that are going to be able to do those things. And to be able to lose people that are already addicted to nicotine, whether they're 18, 19, or 20, let's get them off of it now.
Right.
Because it's not going to get better. Healthcare for them is not going to get less expensive.
Yeah,
Healthcare
ain't that the
costs are not
truth.
going to get less expensive, and we all pay for that healthcare.
So you just touched on something that is an idea that I've been kind of kicking around for a while when I've been talking to the Savada people and whatnot. So I think it's fair to say it's been 18 or 21 to buy cigarettes for a long time. I don't even know how long, but a long time, and that has not stopped kids from getting cigarettes.
No.
So if, and this is a big if, but if the Tobacco 21 people are right and raising the age to 21 is going to stop the 15, 16, 17-year-olds from getting these products, why don't we just raise the age for cigarettes? The kids are still going to get them, but then as soon as they turn 18, they're going to have a less harmful alternative to kind of correct those childhood mistakes before they, because otherwise you're just tacking 3 more years on there that they're going to be getting more and more acclimated and used to smoking.
Right.
Valid argument. I have no answer for it.
All right, so let's do that. Some other things that I don't know exactly how this would work, but some other ideas that we've had are we need some sort of process to catch bad actors. Because the way I see it is like there's 2 ways that kids get a hold of vapor products. It's either from a bad store owner or an employee where they can just walk in and buy it and not get carded. But the second way is like if they, if somebody's mom buys it for them or somebody's older brother buys it for them or, their friend's older brother or whatever. Those are the people that are causing the problem. And I don't have an answer to this right now, but like if we had some way that we could find out who was the adult that gave the product to the minor and penalize them, I think this whole problem would go away. Because, I don't know about you, but, so I have a little brother, right? And we're well outside the statute of limitations at this point, so I'm going to admit to something. He's 4.5 years younger than me, but... Allegedly. Well, I'm 35 now, but when I was old enough to buy beer, but he was not, I would buy him beer when he gave me money to buy him beer. Now, if every single one of those cans said, had hypothetically just said, purchased by Dave Morris on it, and I knew, if his party got broke up, my name was going to be all over it, I would not have done that.
Right.
For sure. So I'm definitely not saying we need to, stamp people's names on vapor products or anything like that, but if there was some way to track who the legal buyer was to get them in trouble when a kid is caught with that product, I think that would dry up the market pretty quickly.
Well, I think everybody always... has fear of consequences. Right? That's why people are Ubering and getting taxis when they're leaving the bar and all of those things. So there's no question that finding a way to do that, but then that means every store, every shop is now going to have to track it. It's going to have.
Oh yeah, like so. I don't know
how the hell you'd ever do it.
I don't know either. But something for y'all to think about. If you guys, if that kind of sparks an idea in your head that you can think of an easy way that can be done,
that you can sell to every vape shop.
Yeah.
Just think how much money.
You will make all of the money. If it costs every vape shop $1 a month, you're going to be a millionaire.
Well, that's one thing that I try to teach my employees at the store too, is just kind of take a look at your surroundings. Like if they pull up in a car and you see other people in the car or with them, just take an extra 2 seconds to look at who they're with, and if you feel uncomfortable and you think that they're buying for them or whatever, just refuse to sell. It takes 2 extra seconds to kind of just look and understand.
Totally.
So that's what I usually do. So
Great.
That helps out too.
So at the end of the day, Tobacco 21 is definitely an issue, but there's also they're trying to ban flavors, they're trying to do taxes, they're trying to do all this stuff, but it all centers around keeping vapor products out of kids' hands.
Okay, so question. What flavor are you vaping on?
It's cactus, tropical mango.
What flavor are you vaping on?
I have a cake batter in this one, and these are both like some sort of tropical fruit thing.
And I have a fruit milk.
Yeah.
Okay. So you notice we're not all vaping tobacco.
We're not.
Right.
And we're also not all vaping unflavored juice.
No. That I can assure you, if you tried to sell me straight PG and VG in a bottle with nicotine, I'm not vaping it.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
So I actually tried vaping that for a day one time just to see what it would be like, and it really just made me want to quit vaping. It was not good.
Yeah.
I mean, there is no way that we should be penalized. I don't know about anybody else, but I didn't stop smoking on tobacco flavors.
No.
Okay.
No, and we actually, there was a survey recently that shows very few people did. Very, very few people, it was under 5% quit with tobacco flavors, and it was like 0.01% said that they did unflavored.
Well,
Like a statistical anomaly.
I must confess that I do tobacco in the Juul.
Mm-hmm.
Because I personally think that that's the most satisfying flavor of Juuls that they currently have out. I understand they have a lot more flavors coming.
I kind of like the mango.
I'm not a mango guy.
I'm a mint guy myself.
Yeah.
I love the mint.
I can't do the mango. And as much as boba has an amazing mango flavor, I just don't do mango. And probably most of them I don't even give an opportunity, because when they tell me it's mango, I'm like, oh, not for me.
Yeah.
And there's probably some amazing mango flavors out there that I would love, but just when you say mango, I'm out.
See, when it comes to vape stuff, whenever somebody says cherry, I'm the same way. I'm like, yeah, I'm good on Dimetap for right now.
Yeah, no thank you.
Still never had a good cherry.
Nope.
If anybody watching this thinks they have a good cherry, you are more than welcome to mail it to me. I will not try it, but I will throw it in the trash. So, either way, we're about to run out of time on this segment. So we will be back, and we're going to talk more with Austin about things that Austin says, things that Austin does after this. And once again, we are back. This is personally my favorite segment, especially when we have interesting guests.
Somebody else coming I don't know about?
Yeah, we got somebody else. Oh, come on up. No, I'm kidding. Dude, so you out of all the people that I've talked to in the vape industry and the advocacy industry and stuff like that, you probably have one of the most like interesting just resumes. And you know, like we've had a bunch of like really cool conversations I really very much enjoyed.
Sure.
And you know, at first I was thinking, I was like, oh yeah, like tell the story about this, tell the story about that. But I feel like I've just like kind of like scratched the surface of all your awesome stories. So like, what's your favorite like moment in the vapor industry?
My favorite moment in the vapor industry. Wow, dude. You know, I love being on stage at all the shows. Mm-hmm. I love ramping up the crowd.
Right.
And unfortunately, I'm going to tell you my first mistake.
Okay.
Versus my first triumph. So we're at Vape Blast and Phil's there, and he's doing his recordings, and they had me down doing the cloud competition, and it's an adult themed industry, and you had to be 18 to get in. So we're up there, and I'm bantering back and forth with the crowd, and if you can believe it, Phil Basardo thought I was too vulgar. Five Ponds, I think, said that I was the Andrew Dice Clay of the vape world. So that was probably my first black eye, and but that was fun. I had a great time doing it.
Yeah.
And I still love doing the shows. Miami World Vapor Expo is coming up. I love doing that show. I've been the MC of that show, thanks to the Evans family since its inception. Mm-hmm. And
that's like next week, right, or the week after?
The 14th through the 16th.
Okay, a couple weeks.
Yeah, not too far off. And I think the biggest thing, is seeing everybody rally.
Mm-hmm.
When I was at Cutwood, we actually rented 2 of the big buses to go up to Sacramento. And I think that's probably something huge. Seeing everybody in Washington, I think, is huge. And seeing the community come together, I think, is probably the most heartstring thing. And, seeing people get involved in advocacy and seeing how personal they take it. Right? There's obviously an incident last weekend that, depending on which side of the coin you were on, right, was pretty controversial.
Right.
And I think it's great that people are passionate, and I think there's a way to go about that helps people, and I think getting people involved. And if you're concerned about a particular brand or something like that, don't support it. Support the brands that are doing the things that you think are right. It's kind of like politics in the vape world, right? Some people like one particular party, they don't like another. And I think the biggest thing is to get involved, stay involved, do your part. And it's kind of like Fig said today, don't armchair quarterback. If you want to get involved and you want to take pop shots at somebody, make sure you're doing something.
Yeah.
Because you can't be the guy that's sitting back, or gal, that says, well, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, when you're not donating
when you're
any
not
money,
doing anything.
You're not doing anything, then you can't pick on somebody who's at least trying. Because
Yeah.
if you're not trying, you're already failed. And at least if somebody's trying something and it doesn't work, at least they tried.
Yeah.
And I think it was Michael Jordan that said, you miss every shot you don't take. And let's not miss any shots that we don't take. Let's take every shot. If we miss the shot we took, that's okay. But just to sit there and say, I'm not going to even try because I'm going to fail, then you're shorting yourself on life.
Totally.
And you're not helping anybody in the industry on picking on somebody else. You know, there's so many advocates, and I won't mention by name, that people go after on social media when those people aren't doing anything. And, well, hell, I'm just going to say it. Demetrius Agrafidiotis is one of them, right? Yeah, is he an opinionated guy? Absolutely. But he's also one of the guys I trust the most, right? Him, Michelle Hamill, they're my go-tos, right? Those two, and they don't always get appreciated for everything that they do. And I think that that's so sad. The hours and money and expense that they go through to be at those events and to spend time away from their family and then to not get the support from the industry, I think is really unfortunate. And I think that, you know, we have got to, as a community, stop tearing each other down from inside, because the FDA and all those other people are already trying to do that to us. Let's band together. We're stronger together than we are apart. And the big, easy example is any of us could snap a number 2 pencil in half in our hand. Let's rubber band 50 together and see how many of us can break it.
Exactly.
Let's get in the middle of the pack. Let's stop sitting on the sideline. Let's get involved and be a part of it. And I think that's the biggest thing, is doing the shows and seeing people having fun and enjoying, and seeing all the relationships that have been built throughout the time. And it's not like the vapor industry is a really long, old history group. I mean, we're creating the history as we go every day. And, you know, are you a part of the solution or are you part of the problem? And that's the question you have to ask yourself. And if you're part of the solution, then you have nothing negative to say about anyone else. There's a old Chinese proverb that says, if you never speak ill of others, you never need whisper. If I say it behind your back, I will say it to your face. And that's the thing. And I'm not a perfect person by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah, I've made plenty of mistakes in my life, but that just proves that I'm trying.
Yeah.
Success is when you actually get back up when you've been knocked down. That's success. So, you know, I've been a part of some exciting brands that have skyrocketed. And, you know, there was, people seem to think that I have the Midas touch. From your mouth to God's ear. And, you know, I think it's just the thing is just being one amongst many, I think, is the most important thing. And, you know, being willing to go to stores, events, and being a part of the community is what's important. I don't think it's important to go and say this, and just don't do it. You know, there was a guy that I went to a store opening where I didn't know because I'd never seen the movie, and there was the name was something off of a movie that I'd never seen, and a guy reached out and said, I can't believe you're there at that opening. And I'm like, but I'm here on a Saturday, and I drove 1,100 miles to get here, right? And you're armchair quarterbacking. Stop armchair quarterbacking, right? We don't live in a perfect world, and people aren't always going to act the way we want them to.
Yeah.
And the biggest part is how can we help, right? I look across the table and I see 13th Floor, and, you know, Kidney Puncher, and I see these other brands, right? And there's so many amazing brands. Let's not focus on the negative ones. Right? Somebody made a post the other day about who you thought was doing it right in the vape industry, and it was Five Ponds. I think Five Ponds has always done it well. I think they do an amazing job. And, you know, kudos to them for sticking with the lawsuit and doing all the things so we could still be here today. Right? We owe a lot of brands a lot of kudos that they don't always seem to get. And Five Ponds has, in my opinion, always been the leader, and they're the guys that everybody's chasing. Because not one of us can say we see something that's a Five Ponds branding and we don't automatically know what it is.
Right.
Well, I mean, kids do love chess.
I eat too much chest pie. But anyway, that's another story.
Awesome. Well, hey, Austin, thank you so much for coming down.
Pleasure's always
We
mine.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
sir.
So yeah, basically, come to Advocacy. We have cookies.
Cookies.
Yeah. You didn't get them out there?
No.
Either way. All right, we're gonna go get some cookies. Thank you for joining us once again on Beyond the Clouds.